Connery curious.
Stardust, Last Crusade, You Only Live Twice, and the Anderson tapes.
Murder on the Orient Express. You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marty and a woman of straw. And a wounded man in Africa. We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Mario Lima,
Dylan Titus.
how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Not fantastic.
I was afraid to ask.
Not fantastic today, unfortunately,
Not fantastic
but
for.
happier because I'm here talking with my friend
Me
about
too,
a movie.
man. About a movie, man. This is
A movie man.
a movie.
And what's that name of that movie man?
The movie man is A Night to Remember.
Oh, I was thinking the movie man was Sean Connery. He's the movie man.
Oh, well, about that.
Welcome to Connery Curious.
The podcast where myself and Dylan Titus here go through every single film in the massive filmography of Sir Sean Connery. And this should be very interesting to talk about today.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Today
Damn you, Wikipedia, you lied to us.
What are we talking about today, Dylan?
Tonight we're talking about A Night to Remember. What
And
year is that published? You got the Wikipedia.
It was
58, 57?
July 3rd, 1958. A great
58.
A great 4th of July movie. I'm sure 4th of July weekend was fun that year.
Well, they do like fireworks.
Which we'll talk about this. So, okay, as we get into it, so A Night to Remember. This is based on the 1955 book by Walter Lord. This is about the sinking of the Titanic. And very, very pleased with this film. We'll
Me
get
too.
into more of it, but I'm just not pleased with a certain aspect of it.
Yeah,
being the reason we're doing this movie.
Should we just talk about it right out of the gate?
First of all, this film was brought to our attention because Sean Connery makes an appearance uncredited.
Uncredited as lifeboat survivor.
Is that what you said? If
You check that Wikipedia page, it will say lifeboat survivor.
That's interesting because when I Googled it, because I'm like looking at the timer, I'm pausing it. I'm like, we don't got a lot. This boat's going down. Where is Sean? I'm like keeping an eye on it. When I Googled it, I got two answers. One was that he was one of the crewmates or whatever, helping people get onto the lifeboats.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, okay, when they're starting to load the lifeboats, me pay attention to people, handing people off, women and children first, obviously. I'm like, it's got to be one of them. And then I look at another one where I'm Googling it again, and they say that he is one of the people on, I think they would be considered the C-class guests.
Oh, yeah, the steerage.
Yeah, where they're in the lower, by the way, we'll talk about a lot of it. James Cameron took a lot from this movie. There's a lot that is just... But that scene when they have, not the initial scene where we see another familiar face, but a different one where they're trying to get up to those gates and they're shut, and they're using the axe to get through. Wikipedia told me, or internet told me, he was in that scene. And I looked at it, and I looked at the guy grabbing the axe. I'm like, no, that's not him. And there's two other gentlemen, and I could just see the back of their heads. I'm like, don't tell me that one of those back of the heads is Sean Connery.
Maybe he's in there somewhere. Maybe he's not.
So you don't see him.
No, I never saw him.
So I don't think he's in this movie.
And full disclosure, this morning I checked the IMDb for this movie. No Sean Connery.
Well, yeah,
on the IMDb.
It is said that he's uncredited, which makes sense. But he's also...
But IMDb will list people who are uncredited.
Yeah, I suppose.
And when I said not our first time, it's not the first time we've had him uncredited. Memories of Me.
Yeah, and but
he shows up
clearly in that movie.
Yes.
So this was very an interesting game of I Spy for me, because when you Google it, we'll cut around this obviously. So watch. My whole Google has been either fucking Fantastic Four or wrestling things or me trying to find
A Night to Remember.
So I was like looking at this. When you Google Night to Remember, Sean Connery, this picture comes up, and that that is not Sean Connery, which we'll put up here to the show. But that is not Sean Connery. Neither of those men are Sean Connery.
No.
But for some reason, when you go to Google it, I even asked AI.
That picture must be connected to an article which features the word Sean Connery.
Yeah, that's all I can think of, because everything else is like just different stills from the movie, and I don't know if anyone watching this has more information on where exactly Sean Connery is in this film, because whenever you look up Sean Connery in this movie, two other people show up, which we'll talk about later on. That are
quite a few other people.
Yeah, that are both in the same Bond movie, if not multiple. It's that one, easy peasy, but I'm not finding him anywhere.
Honor Blackman is the first one.
Yes.
That is definitively, here's co-star from the James Bond films, and she's got a prominent role.
Very prominent, yes.
And then Desmond Llewellyn shows up for one shot.
Very like that would have been a great moment, having Sean Connery on the other side of that gate, and it's like, we simply cannot let you go up here, 007. But like that was very, because I heard his voice first, I didn't notice, and I was like, I think that was Desmond Llewellyn. I'll go back. I'm like, oh yeah, there he is. So that was pleasing. That was nice to see those two Goldfinger alumni.
Did you see Norman Rossington? He was the one that was going up and down the hallways telling people to,
oh, that's him. Okay, yeah.
He's with Connery in the first World War II one we did, not A Bridge Too Far. The Longest Day.
Longest Day.
Yes, when they show up at the end and they're the comedic relief kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he shows up as well. Cameron pulls a lot from this movie.
A lot.
I was looking at my notes. Do we need to go beat by beat through this plot? I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
Imagine James Cameron's Titanic, but without Jack and Rose.
Yeah, which I think is so. Looking more into this, because. If you're also trying to watch this, I found it on Tubi as well,
or not Tubi,
or not Tubi. So we watched it on Tubi, which was nice. 100% Rotten Tomatoes score.
It's a fantastic film.
And I was like, okay. And so as I'm like, I really enjoyed it, and looking at like reviews and stuff, and like, I think this is, and I think I very much agree. As much as I love James Cameron's Titanic, this is in my opinion, the definitive Titanic story, because you're really getting more into like with James Cameron's Titanic. There's all these side beats and the love story and
the bookend of Bill Paxton trying to find the jewel.
Yeah, and it's like, we don't care. Like sure, that's like a nice little point to have in this, but like, you want to know about the disaster happening. I didn't know some of these details, which my wife knew, because I guess there was at one point at our local aquarium in Mystic Aquarium, Mystic, Connecticut, they had a Titanic display, or whatever you want to call it, there for a while, and they'd give you more details and everything, and they give you more details on like the other ship that just was like, I'm sure they're fine, stuff like that. So I didn't know about that aspect of it, where it's like, oh wow, okay, so like they were trying their fucking hardest.
That was heartbreaking to watch that other ship.
And they're like, they're fucking partying.
What was the name of that other ship?
The
Carpathia is the one that ends up saving them.
Carpathia, and then the other one I forget the name of. Were they even on a ship, or were they just? It was two ships, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember the other ship.
I need to remember. Let's see. Its estimated budget of up to £600,000 made it the most expensive film ever made in Britain up to that time. Holy cow!
It looks it, because I was very impressed by the effects we'll talk about in a moment.
Oh, ding! Sorry about that. It is got the Carpathia and the Californian.
The Californian.
Yes, but the Californian's crew fails to comprehend why a ship within sight is firing rockets.
Go check it out, man. It's like insane. And the the frustration of the guy writing down the iceberg note on the telegraph, whatever, and then the other guy comes in and like just moves it.
Yeah.
And into like the trash pile, and the other guy grabs it. And we're like, no, he's thrown out the iceberg memo, and it's like, well, there's so many little factors of like things that could have been avoided, and ultimately, yeah, that just we know how it's going to end. Again, like you said, if you saw James Cameron's Titanic, you kind of know what's going to happen here for the most part. But yeah, very impressed by how this movie looks.
Well, as I said, it's shot by Jeffrey Unsworth. Well, I may have said it to you before the pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeffrey Unsworth, whose work we've seen before in The Molly Maguires, The Great Train Robbery,
all beautiful movies.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Ooh.
All movies with trains or rail lines.
Yeah. There is a train. This movie opens up with a train.
Yes, it does.
So it's like we got a nice little train scene. That excited me.
Which my note for that is talking about the train scene, which sets us up with just our main character, which, damn it, I'm going to have to look up our main character's name again. Because it was really tough. It's such an ensemble cast of this film. It was really hard to keep track of everybody. But my note for that is that everyone is the heart of the film, is the emotional core of the film. Rather than a Jack and Rose, everybody is the emotional core of this movie. Captain Edward Smith. Nope, that's not who we follow. Wallace Hartley. Right? No. Nope, never mind. Charles Lightroller. Kenneth Moore as Charles Lightroller. Or Lightoller. Lightoller was a British mariner and naval officer who was the second officer on board the RMS Titanic during the ship's sinking, and as the officer in charge of loading passengers into lifeboats on the port side, Lightoller strictly enforced the women and children only protocol, not allowing any male passengers up to board lifeboats unless they were needed as auxiliary seamen. He was the most senior officer to survive the disaster. Served as a commanding officer in the Royal Navy during World War I. Despite ordering an alleged war crime while engaged in anti-submarine warfare, he was decorated twice for gallantry. Holy cow. And he provided his personal yacht, the Sundowner, during World War II, and sailed her as one of the little ships in the Dunkirk evacuation.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Damn.
That is absolutely incredible.
That's insane.
But what's the alleged war crime? It just takes me to British war crime. Well, who knows? How do we judge this? He's a man who saved a lot of lives, but then he also did a war crime. But then he also saved a lot of people during World War II.
I mean, so did Chopper the droid from Star Wars Rebels. He helped save a lot of people, and he got involved in war crimes as well. That's true. Google it.
Same thing.
Same thing. Chopper and that guy are like the same. That Chopper is based on that guy.
Charles Lightoller.
Yeah.
Charles Lightoller. Chopper. It's there. It's all there.
They used his speeder to help evacuate during Order 66, I guess. I don't know.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go through my notes here. Do you have notes on the film?
I mean, I just mental notes, obviously, but like, this film opens up. I like the use of actual footage of the Titanic being launched. Like,
is that actually what that is?
Some of that is. Some of it's
really.
Mixed up. So I think obviously the ship, like them cracking the champagne and the ship going back.
Yeah, that's not real.
But the wide shots of the ship like leaving the port.
I wonder if it is.
Like the crowd. I'm pretty sure that's the actual footage. Correct if I'm wrong.
Was there cameras that were able to catch that in 1912?
Oh yeah, there's definitely. I think they use it in James Cameron's Titanic as well.
4 clips from the Nazi propaganda film Titanic from 1943 were used. 2 of the ship sailing in calm waters during the day, and 2 of a flooding walkway in the engine room. Whoa, okay. Look at this. This is real footage of the Titanic.
There it is. There's definitely footage of like the launch of everyone going nuts with their streamers and stuff.
So this is a film. Huh. From the only genuine footage of the Titanic. Well, interesting. It would be interesting if they did use real footage from it. But either way, the footage that was shot by Jeffrey Unsworth is gorgeous.
Yeah, and I was very impressed by the ship model as well. Because I'm like, how are we going to see this thing going down?
Indeed, yeah,
And
it was beautiful.
It looks so freaking good. And
Just leave this here.
yeah, like I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to the Titanic stuff. Like I'm always like super interested in all this. I think I told you, like I just watched the documentary on Netflix
About the implosion?
About the implosion of the mini sub that just went down. Now it's been like
two or 3 years.
Yeah, time flies, man. It feels like it just happened. But like, of course, now like I was like, oh, perfect. We're watching a Titanic movie as well, so we kind of get into like the. I didn't realize how many times James Cameron went.
He was down there on 9/11.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he came back up, and there's footage of Bill Paxton telling him about it.
Oh, I didn't see that really.
Yeah.
It was like, I think he went down like 30 plus times.
Oh, probably more than that. Yeah.
I think I saw somewhere possibly was 33 times. Which is just insane. The level of commitment it was to make that. So again, going back to like that film, we're gonna compare I think a lot with James Cameron's Titanic. But yeah, it shows he definitely took some aspects where like because like, I watched this with my wife, who was also a fan of the Titanic, and was like, oh wow. Like James Cameron, like took a lot from this movie. I'm like,
He took a lot from this movie.
From the details of like I was waiting for Billy Zane to come out and like, can I get on this boat? I'm like, wait a minute, that's him.
But there's, you get a lot of those same scenes of like Mr. Ismay getting on the boat out of shame, and they see him and.
Yeah, like lower down, like,
yeah,
and stop him.
More like a fuck you. Fine, go survive you. It'll be more painful.
Yeah, so yeah, I think all that is executed. I feel like in a better way with that. It's just the way. Obviously, the James Cameron ones is definitely more dramatic. Definitely I feel like the water.
You can't miniaturize water. That's one of my mental notes. Is you can't miniaturize water. So all the water looks normal, while the ship looks small, or the lifeboats look small.
My thing is, I feel like you didn't feel when you watch James Cameron's Titanic when they're in the water. You feel cold.
Oh yeah.
They don't really like.
Yeah, that
express that. I feel like
everything after the sinking itself feels a little
like
not
like
great.
They had the touch towards the end where they're all on that boat and they're like he's blowing the whistle and he has a little bit of frost on.
Yeah,
we're like, oh, okay, there you go.
It is pretty terrifying that they're riding it upside down.
Yeah, they're just like balancing,
and it could capsize at any time. Though it feels safe. It feels like it might be more prudent to let it capsize. Everyone gets wet for a second and then hops up into the boat, but maybe it would capsize the boat again. Who knows?
Well, I think the issue.
I'm probably wrong. It'll probably capsize the boat.
Was that the one that fell down?
Yes.
So I think it couldn't float the other way.
Yes.
So that's why they have it like that. So yeah, they kind of have to balance it out. But yeah, I was just very impressed by a movie from the 50s. Really bringing the emotion with that sinking, that final, just like a James Cameron's, they're all getting to the back of the boat and then they're slowly going down, and like there's that one shot where you kind of get the shot of like POI a little bit going with the water coming up.
Yeah,
kind of like that's a terrifying shot, but very, very, very well done for what it was. We were talking about the aspect of the ship breaking. It didn't break in this one.
Well, I don't think that was known until recently because I don't think they could go down and see it.
Well, some people are saying that. Because they were the thing in the beginning where they say they kind of talked to people that were there, that recounted it, and I wonder if they just didn't mention that because some people are saying now that the ship probably split in half after it went under because of the pressure, where it kind of went down. It was twisting a little bit, and the pressure was a little different in the back versus the front, and it twisted and broke as it was going down.
It's the only explanation of it I know is from Cameron's film, and that's 20 years old at this point. But it seemed like a decent. It seemed like a pretty plausible explanation that it, snaps and then bobs for a little bit and then goes under.
And then it goes, yeah. So so I wonder what the, we'll never know the actual truth unless we invent time travel and get to see it ourselves. But like,
I know some little people that might help us with this.
Oh, true. Time bend. Oh yeah, they were in it.
They were on the Titanic.
This is our second Titanic film.
Yeah.
That's the funniest part of that movie. To me, they're on a cruise ship and then all of a sudden
they realize it's the Titanic.
It's the most unlucky thing ever. But yeah, I think all in all, I'm very impressed by like just the effect, because like some of those boats look cheesy, but like you can tell it's a model, but like very nice model.
It's excellent model work.
Yeah, so I was very pleased with that, and just that's the way everything looks. And part of me wishes this was in color. I like that's in black and white, but man, color would have been interesting.
Yeah, I really like that it's in black and white, because it really, I feel like it highlights the starkness and the bleakness of the situation. It's like there isn't hope, but we're still looking our damn best. Like, one of my notes here is, what shall we play now, gentlemen? Once they realize that, like, I'm no boat expert, but I'm pretty sure this boat's sinking. And the other one goes, well, what shall we play now, gentlemen? Happy Families? Like, that's really funny. And
I feel like this band hit me more emotionally than the James Cameron band. Because that one guy goes by himself, and they're like...
And he's singing...
Like, we can't leave him, and they go back and they start jamming. And like, we can't leave this guy alone.
Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
But yeah, it's very very. It's really cool. I feel like this is more of an essential Titanic movie.
I agree.
This is absolutely like something you need to watch if you're a fan of Titanic and never watch. Like, sure, we didn't get any Connery in this supposedly, but I guess thank God for that, because either way, because we wouldn't have saw this movie.
Yeah, I'm happy that we saw it.
I mean?
I'm really happy we saw it.
That's what I was talking to like Alicia about. She's like, he wasn't even in the movie. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, I'm not mad about it, because I would have never looked. I didn't know there was another Titanic movie.
Yeah. Well, there's hundreds, because it's public domain.
Oh yeah.
Like, no one owns the rights to the Titanic sinking.
But at that level, I was like,
this is definitely.
I didn't know we had another
phenomenal.
good one. Yeah, because the only other Titanic movie I saw was the Britannic. You ever see that really bad TV movie? It was the sister ship to Titanic that also sank. And I'm like, these people gotta stop making boats.
Titanic 2, it turns out fine. They get there.
I bet he's not gonna make it Titanic 2. But what else can you say about this film other than it's a very good Titanic film, and if it deserves all? I mean, it seems like a lot of people know about it. Like, people are.
Well, yeah, as you said, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Like,
that's very rare.
Something. Yeah, because there was nothing that made me roll my eyes, really. Everything seemed like fine. And again, it's like it's more about the disaster than anything. It's like you get good setup. I like the beginning of like setting up everyone saying farewell to their families, and all. I'm like, okay, here are our passengers that are heading onto this ship for what could be the last time. Some people survive, obviously. What they say, it was 700 saved, 1,500 lost. Crazy.
Yeah. And
half those boats were going out like not even full. I was like, that is so frustrating. I like that little tagline at the end where it's like, I don't know verbatim, but it was like, it's like
the ocean's now safer because of this.
We have more boats.
Yeah.
We have more boats on our ships now.
Better ice safety reporting.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Shout out to that iceberg. That iceberg
shows
was
up like twice.
Yeah, because you see at the end too, and it's like the same
Yeah,
iceberg.
yeah.
It's kind of like
It's a spiky iceberg.
Yeah,
it's like a pointed on top and then pointed outward, like a bunch of different spikes coming out of it.
yeah, it's like that thing. No wonder it tore up the ship. It's like that was scary looking.
I really liked the scene, which Cameron stole the scene of them kick. He didn't steal. I'm sure these are historical accounts. Like they were playing soccer with the ice chunks.
Oh yeah.
But I really like that bit. Holy emergency out there. I really like the bit where he's like, darling, let's go down and play. And she's like, but they're poor. Or whatever, you know? Like, but they're steerage. You know, it's...
Oh yeah, the separation.
kind of heartbreaking. And the scene where the third class passengers enter the first class dining room and they just...
First class.
Yeah.
This is so cool. You know what story I fucking love keeping up with? Is that stupid little cart.
Dude, me too.
Do you have that?
Slowly rolling cart heart.
When
We first see it, and it's scary as shit.
Yeah.
God, it's so scary.
And then it's just rolling around, and we're like, maybe Sean Connery's inside that cart.
It
He is the cart.
It hits something, and the lid pops off. Hey, I was sleeping in here. What am I, Rodney Dangerfield? Hey, it's me.
Oh, I get no respect at all.
No respect.
at all. Yeah, that would have been fucking hilarious if he was manning the car. But like, I like that little aspect of it. It's like that's where like James Cameron's side gets cool too, because it's like you do kind of like that story of like the young runt like hanging out downstairs and they're all partying, which you get to see that in this movie too.
Yeah,
all them dancing and stuff, and like
he's
the one
flirting
guy
with
like asked that girl, "Come on, dance with us, it'll be fine." So I like that aspect of like you really are getting.
You know, that's kind of our Jack and Rose when you think about it.
Yeah.
There are Jack and Rose. They come from literally two different places because she speaks a completely different language. So they come from two different worlds, and they meet first night. They bond over the Irish jig, and by the end of it, they're together. And she's like, I'm not getting off this boat without you. And he kisses her on the forehead. And she's like, okay, I'll go. But like, there are Jack and Rose.
So I'm sure James Cameron saw that. He's like, let me make. Because that's the thing. I'll have to see some interviews with him. I'm sure he's talked about why he developed those characters or whatever, or if they were based on real people. I don't fucking know. But it's nice to see that side of it too, with like, you know, people like, you know, a nice love story among this massive disaster. But this one just focuses on everything. You're seeing all because I feel like you barely see the captain in the James Cameron one. Like, you see him
a lot. Yeah, he's got Bernard. It's Bernard Hill.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's just like I don't know. I feel like the involvement isn't in there.
He's got a big role in this, and it's because there isn't a central love story to be, and there's no bookends. There's more time to focus on the crew.
Yeah, like we're seeing like everything that's going on through the eyes of them and the people not on the ship that are like man, how frustrated I was with that captain. They kept waking him up with that little. Was that a whistle they blow into, like that goes into his room? And like,
right.
And he's like...
It's basically two cans.
Yeah, right?
And a string.
Like there's a whistle on it, and it wakes him up, and it's like a fucking like tube.
It's like a hookah tube.
He's like, yes.
Yes.
That's like a Naked Gun thing. Like he opens it up and like a little fake snake comes out of it. Ah!
Yeah, like it's the peanuts.
Yeah, it's a fake snake comes out of it. But like I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, this piece of shit. He's waking up. And he's like, are they still firing the rockets? And they're like, yes, sir. Report it in. I'm going back to bed. Like this motherfucker. Like just fucking like check it out. Like you're like 10 miles out. Just go check it out.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's like, but
and then the Carpathia on the other side is trying the best that they can to get there in time, and you just know that they're not gonna make it. This film could do that. Cameron's Titanic could not cut to the other boats.
Yeah, because you're too busy, like...
We've got a big story to tell.
Yeah, with the love story stuff.
Do you mind if I take a minute and just change this to a different fire?
Sure.
This is starting to hurt my eyes, and I have one that's a lot lower key.
Yeah, sure.
Keeping this episode low key. I'm not doing any fancy edits or anything. I'll just do a nice crossfade. What do I got for notes? Molly Brown. We get the unsinkable Molly Brown. Who plays her in this? Because she was fantastic. And honestly, Kathy Bates felt like she based her whole performance off
Oh,
of
yeah.
her.
I'm sure when they were casting it, like, we had Kathy Bates for this.
Molly Brown. Tucker McGuire. Ann Tucker McGuire.
Oh, Molly McGuire. His brains as they splat on the wall behind you. Oh my god.
But does she say fucking rich? Did you hear her say fucking rich? Nicole was watching the first half of this with me, and she just went, did she say fucking?
And he didn't have a cent. Well, 3 months later, he's fucking rich. 3 months later, he's fucking rich.
Oh, maybe. When they're at the table?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I'll punch that in if I can remember it. David McCallum as assistant wireless operator Harold Bride. Did you recognize David McCallum? He was the assistant wireless operator who brought in the vests, and
Yeah.
you might recognize him as Ducky from NCIS. You might also recognize him for writing this.
Really? Really?
Yeah, you might recognize that. He wrote that.
Really? Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That would later be
The next episode.
the next episode with Dre and Snoop. That's crazy.
And the wireless operator on the Carpathia was Alec McCowan, who plays Q in Never Say Never Again.
Mm-hmm. So we get 2 Qs.
Yeah. And I think we get a third Q, to be honest.
The third Q.
Yes. Peter Burton.
Who was the Q in?
Jeffrey Baldon. He's in Casino Royale as Q in the 1967
Oh, in the old
Casino
one.
Royale. Yeah.
Okay.
But Peter Burton, who does Peter Burton play? They respectively played a first-class steward. So one of the stewards was Peter Burton. So we get 4 different Qs. in this film.
Shit.
Yeah.
And no gadget could have saved them from this wreck. What a shame. Well, we don't know. I bet they all survived.
Well, you know who could have survived as Boy jumping into the water if they had their jetpack from Return of the Jedi? Would be Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett.
That little kid?
I don't know. It's a little boy who jumps into the water.
Oh.
So it could be any of the dozens. It's a huge cast. This movie is
That's
fucking
insane.
stacked.
That's crazy.
What else do I got? Cameron pulls a lot from this. The hallway check-in post-crash, the soccer with the ice, a lot of stuff like that. Love the slowly rolling cart. My Lucky Pig. What did you think about My Lucky Pig?
I thought there would be more to it. I mean, you see her holding it later on the boat.
So she
It was
survived.
fun.
So it was lucky, I
mean,
guess.
Forget about the lucky pig. Let's talk about the lucky drunk. This guy was the real hero.
You mean my next note, Drunk Macklemore?
Drunk Macklemore?
Doesn't he look like Macklemore?
Maybe.
I'll pull up a picture of him. There's that guy.
I see Macklemore now. Because he also reminded... Who else did he remind me of? I don't know, but he's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Because we're like, this dude is going to fucking drink himself, and it's like, you stay there, I guess. But it's just a recurring bit where it's like, he's like... I don't even know. It's like Baby's Day Out. You know what I mean? Like with the Baby Manhattan, the baby was on
Right.
the construction, the scaffolding. Because he's just like kind of walking around in this like,
Slowly discovering.
yeah, he's just kind of walking around like observing this disaster people screaming their heads off, and he's just like hanging out. My favorite part is he throws that chair into the water, and he sees a guy grab, and he smiles, and he walks off, and he's like, "I saved somebody." It's just so funny. It's just like it's a weird comedic bit that I didn't expect to see, and that's the only comedy you get.
Is this guy? Yeah, this drunk guy really?
This dude.
He comes back down, and he sees the room's flooded, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe I don't need what I needed."
I was howling when they're on that balancing upside down boat. And he's just hanging off the side, and he's still alive. And the one guy dies, and they're like, "Sir, this guy's like, all right, throw him over, I guess."
And so he's like, "Permission to come aboard."
And so he grabs this guy. I'm like, "This guy is still fucking alive, and he's drunk off his." And
he's warm, probably.
He hiccups too at one point. He's
yes.
like, "Sorry,
yes.
allergies or whatever."
He does hiccup,
Yeah.
of course, the typical drunk hiccup.
Yeah, like I think that's so funny. It was like a Weekend at Bernie's thing where like. This dude is still like I don't even know what else to explain. It's like I don't know.
Wouldn't it be funny if they do? We gotta save this one guy that keep carrying a dead guy. It's like no, we need to bring him back. He's alive. Trust us.
He's definitely alive. Like this. Oh shit. But this dude's like a fucking porg in like Star Wars. Like he's like one of those like porgs. Like he snuck up onto the Falcon. He's just still around. Like he just survives. Like he's my hero. He gets a 10 out of 10 for
Watch
character
him as
development.
he goes.
They should have had him be Connery. If that was Connery, it would have been hilarious. But like,
Yeah, I would have loved to see Connery in a role like that. A wordless physical comedy bit.
yeah,
like that would be great.
There's nothing out of him. But like,
What's the funniest thing we've seen Connery do?
It's definitely something out of what's the name of the movie? The one he's a writer.
Oh, Finding Forrester.
No.
A Fine Madness.
Fine Madness.
Yeah.
Him just doing the dolphin thing in the fucking tub. Him jumping around the tub is funny.
Yeah.
Like that shit makes me
Yes.
fucking laugh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like he does the Green Knight laugh. Green Knight's not being funny, but we think.
But
he's
he
funny.
is funny. Yeah.
But I think
He
funniest-
laughs a lot in that movie.
He thinks he's funny. I think the funniest Connery is probably Diamonds Are Forever.
He's pretty funny in Finding Forrester.
He's funny in Finding Forrester. Like when he's older, he definitely has funnier bits.
Yeah.
But like that's the one I think of off the bat. He's probably the funniest. Is Diamonds Are Forever.
I'm curious if this On the Fiddle film is going to be a comedy.
I hope he's in it.
Well, he is. He's on the poster. He's
Okay,
on the
good.
poster. Is a 1961 British comedy film.
All right.
Directed by Cyril Frankel.
Cyril Frankel.
Cyril
I
Frankel.
like that.
Starring Sean Connery and Alfred Lynch, who played. He was in The Hill. He played Stevens, the one who gets marched to death in The Hill.
Shit.
So we're gonna see them together again if we
Cool.
get On the Fiddle. But yeah, thankfully we get to see him in a comedy.
All right, good. But yeah, I think that's the fun. Yeah. So we haven't seen him at his funniest yet. Well, we haven't seen Sir Billy yet. That's probably gonna be the funniest.
I guess.
I like to us, it's gonna be the funniest.
Or we're just gonna be
Well, I think it's comedy.
might drain our soul.
It might dress.
Oh, I think it's comedy. Like they thought it was funny. Because that definitely happened. There's tons of movies out there that are comedies that the writers and the people making it thought were funny, but or the people making it were just there for a paycheck to execute what the writers thought was funny.
What's another movie that's like that?
What is like Avengers of Justice or something? Revengers of Justice, was it? Avengers of Justice. Farce Wars, yeah. This thing with
It's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
That's right, Shawn Michaels. He plays like a fucking scroll.
Yeah. So stuff like that.
I
you
do
know.
wrestling with crossover sometime. I have a cardboard cutout of Shawn Michaels behind me. He's not dressed like that though. In my office,
He
when
should be.
When I stream, he's always.
You
behind
should
me.
paint.
I'm gonna paint him green.
I mean, if you here, hold on. Look at this. Look at this picture. It's barely painted on there to begin with.
His lips are like still like. I've never seen that movie. That might be a wrestling's real.
His faces around his
review.
eyes are still patchy. Like you could just do that with some spray paint on the thing and make it work.
You just scroll.
Alrighty. Do I have any other notes? Drunk Macklemore. What should we play now, gentlemen? Happy Families. No Sean. That was my last note. No Sean.
Ultimately, not a Sean Connery movie.
Not a Sean in sight. Well,
Insane. Again, if you're watching this and you've seen the movie and you think you've spotted Sean, we should do like the promo for this episode should be like a missing poster, like missing Sean.
wait a second.
What?
Why does it say Sean Connery as deckhand?
That's what I got. Deckhand. He's a deckhand that helps load people into the lifeboats. Every
Why did I
Google-
see? Where did I see Survivor? Where did I see that? I must have been Googling something else.
Maybe.
But you know who else is apparently in this in a minor role, uncredited? Is Peter Sallis, the voice of Wallace in Wallace and Gromit.
What are these dudes doing? I don't.
Working. Working in England in the 50s.
That's insane. So, yeah, again, if you guys have seen this movie and you want to put a wanted poster up, missing Sean, like, we should do that for the promo for this episode, like a missing poster.
Yeah.
And, like, it just has this picture of Sean and it's like, if found,
I'll make it
Connery
the same
Curious.
thumbnail, but with a missing poster.
Yeah. You're like, what's this about? And you gotta use that picture.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
But ultimately, I'm happy I watched this.
Yeah, I think, again, this is quite simply just a good movie about the Titanic. Like
A very good Titanic film. A very good film.
Yeah, I just, and I'm happy to learn that this was what James Cameron took from this a bunch to make his movie. Ultimately, his movie's going to be the greatest Titanic movie because people just love that movie.
And in terms of scale and spectacle, you can't beat it.
Yeah, but like
It's incredible.
But when it comes to like story, I do feel this beats it a little bit. It's a more authentic look at everything because it's like
You don't have the clutter of the bookends with Bill Paxton or the love story with Jack and Rose.
like I don't see them making I know there's a few like different situation, but like 9/11, there's quite a few 9/11 movies. But
If somebody added Jack and Rose to 9/11, it would be weird.
Like
They met in the airport.
One works in one tower, the other one works near a tower, and they wave at each other every morning. Like
and they finally meet for breakfast at the ground floor.
Yeah, and then that's when it happened. I mean, I would write it as like she works near a tower. And that's the tower that gets hit first. We're like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And she's trying. Like,
But it turns out she was in the second tower to visit him for lunch.
And then they try to escape. But
Does-
my
yeah.
point is, doing something like that, it takes away from what the real big picture is. 'Cause I know there's one. Isn't there one with Pierce Brosnan and
The Titanic film?
no 9/11 movie? I think it's Pierce Brosnan. And I think it's Batman. Robert Pattinson. Am I incorrect on that? I know there's
Remember Me, yes.
9/11 film, right?
Let's see. The film received mixed to unfavorable reviews.
What's the plot of it? If you don't mind reading it quickly.
Caroline arrives at... okay, the plot... The full plot?
Just give me like the tagline.
Okay. I'm just going to give you the first... Okay. Sorry. So the film received mixed to unfavorable reviews from critics, with much of this criticism centered on its twist ending, which divided audiences. Spoilers for the film Remember Me. Also.
Remember Me.
This will be a shorter episode. A Night to Remember? Remember Me? Oh my god.
Brosnan Curious. It could happen.
Okay. In New York, Allie is a student at New York University. Blah, blah, blah. Tyler Hawkins audits classes at New York University and works at the Strand Bookshop. He and his sister Caroline have a strained relationship with their workaholic businessman father, Charles. That's the first paragraph. Now I'm going to skip to the second to last
Is Charles
paragraph.
Pierce Brosnan?
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Second to last paragraph. Caroline arrives at her classroom, spoilers here, where the teacher writes the date on the blackboard as Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
Oh.
Tyler looks out of the window of his father's office, which is revealed to be located on the north edge of the 101st floor in the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
So that's how the movie ends?
Yeah.
So it's okay. So the movie's not about 9/11. It's just
No, it ends with a twist.
that it happened. That
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The coming of age romantic drama.
Okay, so that bad example then.
But no, kind of a good example because it
but-
takes. Okay,
But
like
I'm saying
the way I was.
I'm saying if they made a whole thing of like the attack on New York, Pentagon, everything, and then like the build up to essentially finally finding Osama bin Laden years later,
And threw in a love story.
Like that would be like
My brain
Why?
creates it as rich girl wants to get away from her life. Poor boy wants to see the world. They meet at an airport on September 11th, 2001, and they sit together. By chance they're sat together on
I
the
think
plane.
there is a movie like that too. I think it's called like Flight 93 or something like that, where it's the perspective of somebody like on on the plane that didn't hit anything, that they rushed the pilots and they crashed in a field.
Yes, with nobody in it. I remember. Okay, so nobody of no large movie stars, excuse me, but it's got
But the plot of it is
Jeffrey
there-
Nording, Brendan.
But the whole movie takes place on the plane, I'm assuming.
It seems like most of it does. Yeah.
So okay. So the long and short of it is, when it comes to comparing Night to Remember and Titanic, James Cameron's Titanic, I like aspects of this film because it really truly tells the story. I mean, there's a million documentaries out there, but this is a good film that really shows. It shows the guests and like their life and all that, and the tragedy they children being lost and stuff like that. Like it's not always so hard to see the kids are like in bed trying to. And one kid's like passed out in the guy's arms, like I'm just trying to go back to bed, But like it's still focused on the boat going down and the crew trying to figure out how to get these folks off and all that. And again, they do that in James Cameron's, but again, it's like the main focal point is Rose and Jack. And the fucking door, when they're floating on the fucking door, and Jack come back and they're blowing the whistle and stuff like that, and it's like it's all well and good, but it's like I just like how this film more focuses on that. So that's why my point I was making with the 9/11 thing. I'm like, if they were ever to make a movie about that tragedy, that focus on the men and women that were serving and trying to get this together. That's the story you want to see.
Which sounds like what that Flight 93 film is.
Yeah, so you want to see when you go to see a movie, you want it to be it's fine to take a little bit out of reality a little bit. That's what movies are for. You want to be out of reality. But if I'm seeing a real life event that happened, I want to see how it actually happened. Unless it's a superhero movie and the X-Men are there while President Nixon is the president. You know what I mean? Like that's different. But like when I'm seeing a real life movie based on a historical event, I want it to be as legitimate as possible.
Yeah,
that's the long and short of it.
I agree. And it's not going to keep me from going back to Cameron's film because I do love
absolutely,
that film.
Yeah.
And the emotional heart of it is.
Oh yeah,
it gets you. Oh, it's fucking beautiful.
Paint
It's
me
a
like
great
one of your
film.
French girls, Jack.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
You also reminded me that when this was my history room in high school, there was a poster for United 93.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Look
Or
at
wait,
that.
wait, was it United 93?
I think it's United 93 or Flight 93.
That's a different film. Flight 93 is a different film. United 93 is a different film.
But same concept.
Same concept, yeah. Again, no major stars in it. All I hate to use the word no-name actors, but like
people who haven't been discovered yet.
Yeah, small. Which
I like. I like that.
Hmm.
We need more of that. Which I think we're gonna get soon in other movies.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood is...
Who's left? You know what I mean? We're at that point where the next generation has to thrive now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Harrison Ford's not going to be fucking making action movies for the rest of his fucking... Tom Cruise is done. He's finished his last...
I don't think he's done.
Mission Impossible movie. Yeah, but he's like, I don't think he's going to do
I wonder
more.
if he's still going to do that space movie.
I don't think he's going to do
where
much.
He actually goes to space or something.
Maybe, but I don't know if he's going to do much more after. But like my point, yeah, so we need that, talk about James Bond. We need that new James Bond. Who's that? Like the game right now that they announced from IO Interactive. A lot of no names in there, actor wise.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people in there I know.
We don't mean any offense when we say no names. Also, we just mean like not known public names.
They haven't been discovered yet.
If I were to say,
I only knew Daniel Craig when he was announced as the new Bond for Casino Royale. I only knew him as he was in Tomb Raider. Remember the first?
Yeah.
I think he was in the first or second Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider. Maybe the second.
I just mean in the sense of like Brennan Elliott is not like a household actor name.
Yeah, you're like,
though I'm sure he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best known for his role as Dr. Nick Biancavilla in the Lifetime medical series Strong Medicine.
No fucking idea, but I'm sure he's great.
I'm sure he's great. Well, he had a role in Curse of Chucky and a cameo role in Night of the Museum, Secret of the Tomb.
That's not the best one.
Not the best one.
Of the Night of the Museum. I mean, I love the first one, and I love because was Robin Williams in all three of them? No, and he passed after he did the second one. But he was. We brought him up before as he's one of the best Teddy Roosevelts ever, besides the one we saw in which Connery film?
Win the Lion.
Win the Lion.
Brian David.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that he makes A Night at the Museum a night to remember.
I like that.
Should we do our ratings?
Yeah, I think at the point here, it's kind of an easy, quick episode because because there's not much to say about this movie other than it's very good.
Go watch it.
Yeah, we do this podcast to recommend movies to you guys, obviously, as well as review them. I joke that we watch the movie so you don't have to, but this one I'm like, you have to watch.
Yeah,
this.
Definitely watch it.
If you're interested in anything Titanic based, like again, it's easy to access right now. You can get it on what did I say it was on?
Tubi?
Not Temu. Tubi.
And if you want to see a beautifully shot black and white film, gorgeously shot.
The quality is tremendous.
Jeffrey Unsworth, man, the GOAT.
Yeah, so I think in closing, before we get into our ratings, go see this film. It's very good, and I'm very impressed and I'm happy because this is it's a film I was really locked into and enjoyed quite a bit.
Me too. Alrighty, well, we're gonna check that off as film number 69.
Ooh, nice.
Talk about going down.
Ooh.
Also, you brought up Tom Cruise. We went and saw Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
The final.
I went and saw it again.
Oh, did you?
It doesn't hold up.
Really? No. I still think I like the previous one better.
Yes. Oh, I agree.
Because you have that great. Because I got together with Andrew and Kyle. We did a Wrestling's Real episode. We decided we were in the mood to watch a Bond. And we watched, for some reason, View to a Kill. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting choice, but let's watch it. And that movie is rough. But like I was reminiscing about, I believe is it For Your Eyes Only? We have that little yellow car.
Yes, which they reference in Dead Reckoning.
And that's the best part of that movie. And that movie has so much more.
I think the best part of that movie is everything in the train sequence at the end.
The train is great.
Especially as it's falling.
But like that car sequence is something you don't get in movies anymore.
No.
Like that fun, you always got to find a way to sort of reinvent a car chase. There's only so many ways you can do it. But just having the way they're handcuffed and stuff. It kind of like Tomorrow Never Dies as well with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
When they're handcuffed. Like, it's always fun to you don't get that in those movies anymore. So yeah, I agree with you. I think I'm not saying that movie was bad. It was still a very good time to watch. But I think the previous one was a lot better.
I agree.
That would have been nicer to end on that one, I feel. But we needed to finish the story.
Or at least take 30 or 40% of Final Reckoning and just tack it onto the end of Dead Reckoning and make one movie.
Yeah, but that plane sequence, man.
No, that would be part of the 30%. It's an almost 3-hour movie.
Yeah,
you could take an hour.
Yeah, that'd
from
be
that movie.
exhausting. Train sequence and then the plane sequence. I would have been
Train sequence, then the submarine sequence. Then
No, I would have to tell the projectors, please pause the movie. I gotta go have a cigarette.
Torpedo. Well, that's a film you would put an intermission in. I would watch a 4-hour movie if there were 2 intermissions.
Oh, I can't do an intermission.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
Take a
go
leak,
pee.
grab a snack. Everyone can talk to each other about like, oh my God, what'd you think of that first 80 minutes? Yeah. Incredible. What do you think is going to happen next?
Possibly, yeah.
But the reason I brought that up is I recently came across a YouTube channel, Alex Boucher. I watched every Tom Cruise movie.
Oh.
I think I'm going to make a video like this when we're done.
Oh my goodness.
I watched every Sean Connery film.
How long is that video?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
And Tom Cruise has it's got 47 chapters, so 43 movies.
Damn.
Connery's got 75.
So he just does 10-minute reviews of each film?
It's like a minute.
Oh, okay. So he's
Like
kind
a minute or two.
Just quickly going through.
But they're ranked. He goes worst to best.
Oh shit.
And then he also did one for Schwarzenegger, but he goes best to worst because most of them are garbage.
What was his best?
Terminator 2.
Nice. We're Jingle All the Way.
Low.
Oh, I love that movie. That movie's so good. Every Christmas I watch it.
I've never seen it.
I heard Fubar is very good. His show.
Yeah.
I gotta see because second season just came out and people are raving about that show. So I gotta see it.
Hell yeah.
It looks fun. I don't know what it's at. Espionage or something. I don't know what it is. A cop or something or secret agent. I don't fucking know. I gotta check that out. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think that could be a fun little thing to do.
I think it would be
to wrap this up so I kind of have it all together on a great YouTube video to have. Just
we'll do this as a podcast. I think we should do an episode where you and I recount our rankings. We each do our own rankings. But I want to do I think I want to do a video of my own ranking and
yeah, there you go.
Go movie by movie and talk about each one.
Yeah.
Give a 90-second review of each one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So. Alrighty, let's go through our ratings. A night to remember.
I feel like this is gonna be a very quick.
Very quick. SH.
Do we just eliminate these? Because 0.
0. Sexy.
I will always have a crush on
Honor Blackman.
Honor Blackman, man. Good Lord.
She's very beautiful in this.
Yeah, but there's nothing sexy about this movie.
No.
So just for Honor Blackman, she gets that 1 from me.
I will agree with you. A 1. Because when you think about it, the Titanic is very sexy.
You know who I want if they ever if Amazon has these stupid ideas to make one-off Bond movies. People are already nagging Pierce Brosnan. Not nagging him, but Pierce is in.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, if it did another one, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, give him his Never Say Never Again, but better. That woman who is also in Mission Impossible, and she's from Ted Lasso as well.
In Final Reckoning?
Yeah, she's the military person. And
Hannah Waddingham.
Hannah Waddingham, man, she's got to be my pussy galore. Good Lord.
Jesus Christ, yeah, you're not kidding.
To the point where I was like, is she related to Honor Blackman? I don't think she is at all. But seeing her, especially in Ted Lasso, I'm like, my God, she is she just needs to be in a Bond movie in some capacity. But if they were to remake Goldfinger, make her pussy galore. I think
yeah, that's excellent casting.
You know what I mean? Where was I? But yeah, sexiness gets
sexy.
a 1 for Honor Blackman.
Alrighty, musical score.
I like the music here.
Who did the music? Let's see. Music by William Alwyn. Over 200 cinematic scores.
Really?
Wow.
Give us a couple. What has she done?
Squadron Leader X. Odd Man Out, The October Man,
October Man. Okay.
The Rocking Horse Winner, The History of Mr. Polly,
October
The Cure
Man,
for Love.
Isn't that a Pierce Brosnan movie?
No, that's The November Man.
November Man. Shit. 1 month off.
Svengali, Beguiled, Safari, Fortune is a Woman, Carve Her Name with Pride, directed by Lewis Gilbert, who directed Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker.
Oh, shit.
And You Only Live Twice.
Sorry, I'm just like...
The last film he did the soundtrack was for 1963's The Running Man. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
I Accuse.
Well, I think the music is good. It's like... But there's no music for a long time.
Yeah.
And the only time it hits at weird times as well. Obviously, we have the band playing, and they sound great. There's some great musical pieces that were chosen there. But, like, it's when does the music hit? There's a specific scene that it hits where it's like, when it hits, I'm like, are they just playing that on the speakers on the boat? Because it only shows on that. Like, I forget what scene it is exactly, but it's like a scene where, like, I think it's, I don't know when it is, but like it's like it just they shoot the music at you for like 5 minutes and it's silent again. So when the music's there, it's great, but like it's not there for a bit. I was trying to listen. I'm not sure. People can correct me in the comments if they want. If there was actually music reused in the James Cameron movie, because that orchestrated one when the ship's actually going down.
Are they playing the same pieces?
I don't know if it was or not. If it was, kudos to James Cameron again for just doing that.
I wonder if anyone could actually really know what pieces were being played.
If I had like some sheet music. Well, these guys are professional musicians. They didn't even have any like sheet music.
It was all in their heads.
They're like play number 7. And they were going at it, so it's like
No. 7 is not Jump in the Fire by Metallica. We need Jump in the Water right now.
Jump in the water. So yeah, I think. So that being said, I think the music's good, but it's not utilized as well, and so like I give it a 5.
I agree with you, Mario. I'm also gonna match you at a 5.
Wow.
I gave it a 4 in my book here, but then like it was used well when it shows up, but it's just not anything mind blowing.
I forget. I should have made a note of it, but like yeah, just like because it's like when you hear it, it's very jarring. So I'm like, why is this music hitting right now? Because like because I remember being not a very tense scene. It just kind of happens. And I'm kinda like, okay. I'm like, why is it hitting? It's like someone pressed the play button or something at an odd time. But yeah, it's fine for what it is. The music in the credits was fine. Music in the beginning is fine. It just there's not a ton in it because obviously you're so spoiled by James Cameron one where like the music. I mean, come on, it's Celine Dion alone.
Right.
Soundtrack.
Howard Shore
massive.
doing the score, right? That's
I think so.
Titanic. Howard. James Horner. James Horner. Forgive me, not Howard Shore. I was thinking shore because they were on the water and they would have loved to have seen the shore.
I would have loved to see that.
Where's the Howard Shore when you need one? I don't know. I can't hear you over this damn James Horner. Alrighty. So, yeah, 5 for both of us. Film rating. Here's the interesting one.
Oh, man.
What are you giving it, bud?
I loved it. I think this is awesome. And dare I say it, I'll watch it again.
I agree with you.
I think I really liked it. It's not perfect. But
you can't miniaturize water.
Yeah, you can't miniaturize water. And again, like the special effect or lack thereof. I mean, it's not special effect, more like models. Like I appreciate the model work. I appreciate the footage used. Again, we didn't confirm if it was actual Titanic footage, but like either or, whatever it is, good use of that footage in the beginning. The set design was great. That's the thing too. It's like, oh my god, like this, like I want to see that set of like the scene of like outside the boat when they're, lowering the boats and there's guys trying to jump on.
Yeah, right. It's a huge set.
Like, what a set,
Massive.
man. Like, that's got to be in some kind of warehouse studio or like,
outside.
They probably have like a wall set up and that's the ship, and it's just like they kind of move the camera on a dolly system because it's probably not the ship movie, obviously. But like, I'm just like, I was just very impressed by everything because I kept saying over and over again to my wife, this movie was made in the 50s. I'm like, this is great. When you think of the 50s, you think of like, I don't know.
You'd think it'd be more rinky-dink.
You think of American Graffiti, which is a great movie, but like...
Which was made in the 70s.
But is that 70s?
Yeah.
What's in the 50s? I'm trying to think of a movie in the 50s.
Action of the Tiger. Time Lock. Another Time, Another Place. Tarzan's Greatest Adventures. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. That's all the films we watched from the 50s so far. Though we have 2 films left from the 50s and 1 film left from the 60s.
This shit looks better than Darby O'Gill. And Darby O'Gill looked very good, too. I thought they did a good job with the...
That incredible special effects in that film.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's Disney. Disney's always going to have the craziest effects. But yeah, I'm just so impressed with this. So I think all in all, I'm going to give it an 8.
Mario, I'm going to match you.
We're matching
We're
today.
matching every one because that actually matched that one. I get 8 in my notes.
Look at that.
Alrighty. Now, here's where I can't decide.
Well,
For my Sean rating, do we give him a 0 because we didn't see him, or an actor's job is to disappear into the role? Do we give him a 10 because he disappeared so well into the role that we didn't see him at all? And this movie could use the points.
Yeah, that's the thing, man, because, like, it's just a shame because we like this movie so much, but the guy we're here for didn't show up to work. That's insanity.
Or somebody's spreading falsehoods on the internet, which never happens.
That's the thing. But, like, to the point where, like, after we watched, we rewinded and we went back, and I was Googling.
I was scrubbing.
And I was like, they saying he's one of the guys that was helping load people onto the boats. I'm like, okay, it can't be that hard because, I mean, there's quite a bit of loading onto the boats. It's the second half of the movie. But, I'm sure I'll find him. Not at all. Scrubbed through everything. Watched 2 times speed, slowed it down. When I saw that thing with the axe, I went to go slow that down. I'm like, that's not him. So I don't know where this information comes from. If it's true, fine. He probably was an extra, and maybe we just saw the back of his head. Like, that's all I can think of is sure he was there, or maybe he wasn't even on camera. Maybe he just was just an extra, just in a massive crowd of people. We don't know. So it's one of those things where it's like, stuff like Time Lock, where he's clearly there. Stuff like Members of Me, where he's clearly there. It's like, that's a big difference. So I can't trust the internet here. I mean, we're right. We got Honor Blackburn, we got Desmond Llewellyn, we got 2 Goldfinger alumni, but we don't got the man himself, Sean Connery. So I'm sorry. I know this is Connery curious, but I'm just curious about where the fuck he was, man.
Oh, truly, this is the first episode that has truly left us Connery curious.
It is.
We've said we were Connery curious before, but now we are truly Connery curious.
Yeah, because this was a last-minute addition, right?
Yes.
So
because I noticed it was on his Wikipedia.
So maybe one of those things where if this ever was to happen again on another podcast with another actor, we need to look. If they say it's uncredited, we got to Google at least a still image of them in the movie.
I'm looking up No Road Back. No Road Back. Film is notable for being the first major film role for future film star Sean Connery as a minor gangster with a speech impediment. Okay, so we know what we're looking for.
He's talking.
Hell Drivers.
How low down the list is he?
Sean Connery as Johnny Cates, driver, truck 19.
Okay, I think.
And right next to David McCallum.
Okay, so we'll see him.
Yeah. And then the last one, On the Fiddle, he's a leading man.
There we go. So I think we'll be fine the rest of the road. But again, either way, I am glad that we got to watch this movie.
Me too.
But yeah, all in all, I gotta give Connery a goose egg, man. 0. Not here. A Connery curious first.
I'm also going to give him a 0.
This is a historic moment in our show's history here.
Which gives us our second lowest score. Format data.
But it's our lowest Connery score.
For sure. Yes. It is our lowest Connery score. But our lowest altogether score is Tarzan's Greatest Adventure at 24.5. A Night to Remember, unfortunately, gets a 28. Which is a shame, because it's a really good film, but by our metric...
There's still hope for it in the final rankings of the movies when that episode comes upon us, because it's one of those movies where, like, I don't know, this might need to go into like a special category, almost like this and Memories of Me, and
maybe Goal.
And maybe no, because he's fully in that.
Yeah.
But like, I think these are like sort of like special. What's the word I'm looking for?
Exceptions.
Like, yeah, like honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Because they're both the Memories of Me and this movie have both great movies that we both liked, but it's just no Connery. Same thing with the Army movie.
Longest Day.
Longest Day. He's in it for. And
2 minutes.
the
at the
2
end.
minutes he's in it, we like him.
Yeah.
Like, he's hilarious. But it's like one of those things where it's when you're covering a specific actor and they're just not in the movie. It's tough. It's tough to put a ranking on it. 'Cause it's kind of not fair.
Yeah.
You
I think this one, may have to be ejected from the final rankings. And if anything, we just go like, well, if it were in the list, here's where I would put it.
Yeah.
Between numbers 7 and 8 or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's really good.
Yeah, it's just not a Sean Connery movie. Like, if I'm like looking at movies, I'm like, I can't tell you this is a Sean Connery movie.
But I think Memories of Me needs to be on the list.
Yeah.
It's definitive. They say the words Sean Connery in it.
And
he shows up as
in
himself. It's like the purest version of him.
I mean, this is the only movie besides Goal where he doesn't show his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, these, we don't see him at all. At least Goal, like, we hear him. We know it's him. But, yeah, it's just so weird. Like, I'm like, thinking, like, we gotta see, because I'm thinking about the scores in my head. I'm like, when we record this, I'm like, what am I going to fucking say? And I'm like,
do you want any data while I have this pulled up? I can...
Oh, no. It's fine. But, like, no.
Like, what is our most this or that?
No, I mean, this is definitely the lowest of the low. But yeah, this is a discussion we'll have of, like, you know, maybe we'll just kind of.
If you are interested, here's the order that we did them in. I just put them in episode order.
Oh wow!
So you can see.
Did you give a score?
Yeah, 0.
Oh, you also gave 0.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately,
that's. This is an episode to remember.
We both get a 0 for this 69.
Oh. But I mean, I guess with that being said, we've said all we need to say about this film. So shall we move on and see what our next episode's going to be, Dylan?
I think we shall.
Right now, we're going over to wheelofnames.com to spin the wheel of curiosities, which will be right here, and we're going to spin for our next film, which is. What are we at? 3 more pizzas of pie here? Pizza pies? Or 4? I think 3. We have 3 left. Oh my god.
Forgive me, I've got to... could you... oh, no, never mind. I'll have to do it from here. Forgive me, I've got to log into the Wheel of Names.
Oh no.
And yes, we only have 3 films remaining.
4 technically if you count Sir Billy. Oh
No Road Back,
God.
On the Fiddle, and Hell Drivers. Mario, our journey is coming to an end. We've got 4 films left to watch.
Oh my God.
3 on the wheel and one that we know for a fact.
Oh, this is insane. It's been a journey. And
a privilege.
well, so now you're talking about On the Fiddle. I'm excited to see it now because it's a comedy, but a part of me also kind of wants to like save it. But Hell Drivers here is very good too.
And I believe we have Chris Hunt for that episode.
Ooh, yes. And what's the other one? No Road Back.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me On the Fiddle or Hell Drivers.
All right, buddy. You ready to spin?
Am I spinning? My
You're
turn?
spinning.
All right, guys.
It's time.
To
Spin.
the
Wheel of Curiosities. Not looking.
Oh, there it is. Hell Drivers.
Hell Drivers. Film number 70 on our list.
Gracious.
Alrighty, let me mark that as film number 70. Up next. Oh boy. And where can we find that? Where is that available to watch?
I feel like I saw it somewhere on Prime, perhaps.
Amazon Prime Video.
Amazon Prime? Or your local
Leaves in
library?
14 days. You better watch it quick.
Oh, is it? It's on
Leaves
Prime?
in 14 days.
Son of a bitch.
Well, looks like we're doing the next episode a little sooner than
In
expected.
14 days.
Well,
I'm
but look, there he is, right there.
Okay, confirmed. He's in the movie.
Confirmed. That definitely, and that looks like him, right? That's definitely him.
That's definitely him.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't mistake those eyebrows.
No.
But okay, so we'll be back very soon with Hell Drivers,
Yeah.
and hopefully Sean Connery will return as well.
Hopefully.
We miss you, Sean. Come back.
You know,
Come back.
to be honest, it was kind of nice to watch a film without him for this podcast. You know what I mean? To be like, well, we're just discussing a different film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
But at the same time, we're kind of like,
where the hell was he?
I kind of want him here, but it was very fun to cover that. But we promise we'll be back next episode with some more Sean Connery, some SHs and all that good stuff.
Indeed.
Till then, I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus, and as always, folks,
Stay curious.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Connery Curious for updates, memes, and episode clips. You can also visit Dylan on Instagram at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion about your favorite films, comics, and games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit me, Mario, at Friggin' Nerds Media. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us. Have a great day, and remember, stay curious.